Austria's major political parties hold their final campaign rallies ahead of parliamentary elections on Sunday.
The Israeli army announced on Saturday that it killed Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, in a strike on the militant group's headquarters in Beirut on Friday. Israel's chief of staff, Herzi Halevi, said that there is more to come as the army prepares its next moves.
זה לא סוף ארגז הכלים, זה צריך להיות מאוד ברור. יש עוד כלים קדימה ללכת, והמסר הוא מסר פשוט, מי שמאיים על אזרחי מדינת ישראל נדע להגיע בצפון, בדרום, גם במקומות יותר רחוקים.
Several other Hezbollah commanders were also reported killed, and civilians were among the victims.
The majority of Austria's political parties have held their final campaign rallies ahead of parliamentary elections on Sunday. Polls show the far-right Freedom Party, headed by Herbert Kickl, in the lead, predicted to take more than 28% in what would be their first-ever election victory. They've campaigned on an Austria First platform, but if the party fails to secure an outright majority, finding coalition partners could be tricky. Polling second is the Conservative Austrian People's Party, led by incumbent Chancellor Karl Nehammer. At his campaign rally, he ruled out a coalition with the Freedom Party and urged supporters to vote for him to prevent the far right from coming to power. The Social Democratic Party, headed by Andreas Babler, are polling in third place, expected to take around 20% of the vote. Their final campaign rallies will take place on Saturday. And rounding out the top five are the Liberal Neos Party and junior coalition partner, the Greens.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky presented US presidential candidate Donald Trump his victory plan in New York on Friday. The meeting, built on a foundation of goodwill, came after US Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris promised her support to the Ukrainian leader.
We have a common view that the war in Ukraine has to be stopped and Putin can't win and Ukrainians have to prevail.
I have a very good relationship, and I also have a very good relationship, as you know, with President Putin. And I think if we win, I think we're going to get it resolved very quickly.
Meanwhile, on the ground, at least 3 people have died after a Russian airstrike hit a police department in the Ukrainian city of Kryvyi Rih, officials said. The strike damaged dozens of homes with 80 cars smashed. Further north, firefighters worked through the night to put out numerous fires started by Russian strikes on the city of Izmail in Ukraine's Odessa region, according to the country's state emergency service. 3 people died in the attack, with dozens wounded.
Italian President Sergio Mattarella has hailed the great relationship between Rome and Berlin on a 3-day state visit to Germany. Speaking alongside his German counterpart Frank-Walter Steinmeier, Mattarella said we need a stronger and more united EU to respond to international challenges. Mattarella also warned against the dangers of political populism, and speaking about ways to end the war in Ukraine, said that peace shouldn't mean submission. On Sunday, both presidents will head to Italy to attend a service to mark the 80th anniversary of one of the worst atrocities committed against civilians by the Nazis. From the 29th of September to the 5th of October 1944, Waffen-SS troops killed at least 770 Italian civilians in the northern village of Marzabotto. It was the largest massacre of civilians committed by the Waffen-SS in Western Europe during the war and remains the deadliest mass shooting in Italy's history. The anti-drug unit of the Kosovo police has seized more than 1 ton of cannabis plants with a street value of around €5 million. The Basic Prosecutor's Office said the large amount of the drug was discovered growing in the village of Klicina. Footage from local TV news showed officers arriving at a field of cannabis and the plants being destroyed. The prosecutor's office said it was the largest anti-drug operation in Kosovo since the late 90s war.
We've seen the impact of that.
Parts of England have been flooded as rainy weather continues to plague several areas in the UK. The key M5 motorway in Gloucestershire was flooded, forcing motorists to spend the night in their cars when it was closed. The heavy rain mainly affected the Midlands and the south of the country, where weather warnings were in place. Milton Keynes, Oxfordshire, Cambridgeshire, Leicestershire and the West Midlands were all hit by flash floods, disrupting rail networks.